hit record if you want to get going.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on Twitter, Derek Talk Stros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
All right, so we got a few things to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit more about what the players agreed to. Also, there's a schedule, the times for the schedule for the 2021 season has come out a little bit. And Andrew Benintendi was traded. It was not to the Houston Astros, and there's been quite a few deals coming around. But we're just going to talk some baseball on this podcast, and there's a lot to talk about. And guys, don't forget to check us out every day on the Locked On Astros podcast. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether it be Spotify, if you listen to radio.com, wherever you listen to podcasts, listen to Locked On Astros podcast for your daily dose of the Astros. And we'll be doing it all season long on the Astros podcast. So, Brett, what's going on with the whole Andrew Benintendi trade? Where did he go?
He went to the Royals. He was signed by the Royals. It was a 3-team trade. I don't have all of the details in front of me because, he didn't come to the Astros. So I'm not really focused on Andrew Benintendi or Andrew not coming to Houston. But there was apparently a 3-team trade. The Royals, I think, gave up some decent pieces.
Yeah. They give up a young outfielder, I think Callie Lee, I believe, Lee or something. But he's going to be really good. And yeah, that was a very weird trade. And I know there's some rumors that, it did end up being a 3-way trade there. But that was something that was kind of surprising. The last team that you would have thought would have gone out there would have been the Royals. But who knows? They would have done that. So, speaking of weird things, with spring training coming around the corner, I heard that players will be wearing like tracing bracelets or something where they kind of have, when they're walking around like camp and everything. And let's say that Brett comes up with COVID-19, they'll be able to go back and say, okay, well, Brett interacted with Justin Verlander over here, and he also interacted with Zach Greinke over here. So now we have to isolate them and that type of thing. And there's also going to be some penalties if we do that. You know what? All this stuff is just crazy. It just makes me want to drink. So where could we get some alcohol?
We can go to belchingbeaver.com. They were started back in 2012, and they were inspired to have damn good times. They've made partnerships with people like the Deftones to create some amazing beers. They are here for your drinking enjoyment. They are there for all palates. They have stouts, they have easy drinking blondes, hard seltzers, just your non-traditional stuff, peanut butter milk stout. They've got anything you can think of, they probably have it. They've come to Texas recently. Their products are selling and flying off the shelf, so be looking for those products. Go to belchingbeaver.bev to be able to see where your local distributor or local store is carrying it. Belching Beaver Brewery. We're here to have a damn good time.
Okay, so I know we're looking to have a damn good time this season, and it looks like the Astros are going to be starting opening day this year. If I remember seeing, I'm on my phone right now doing podcasts, but I believe it was April 1st versus the A's, and I believe it was a 9:07 game. I want to say it was in Oakland. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
it is in Oakland, yes.
Yes. So we're going to start off right on the bat, out of the bat, with those Dane after dark, Astros after dark games.
Well, you know what? I hear Mike Fiers is going to be the opening day pitcher. April Fools.
Well, who are they going to have left? Marcus Semien is gone. And there's rumors are saying that they're going to try to trade Matt Chapman to the Mets.
Hey, They signed Jed Lowry to a minor league contract, which makes me wonder
Who?
how many
Who?
Jed Lowry. How many months will it be before he becomes a Houston Astro?
No. We're not doing no. He's always meant to go back to the A's, and he's like that. Like it's like somebody the dog wanders away from home. He always kind of goes back to the house. So he's the dog that always what's that movie that
Homeward Bound?
Yes, Homeward
Incredible
Bound.
Journey.
Yes, something like that. So that's what Jed Lowry is. So yeah, so the A's are definitely not going to be the thorn in the Astros side that they've been in the past few years. That does not mean that they're not going to be good. They've lost Liam Hendricks. They've lost a few other good people, but we're going to have to punch some people in the face this year in the Mariners.
That's right.
Yes. Or watch them punch themselves in the face. And I'm talking about Ken Giles. Ken Giles signed a 2-year deal to be the Mariners closer. What? Say what?
No, that's awesome. I saw that and I was like, oh, how the turntables. That was great. So now they will have assured themselves they won't be in last place. They will be able to beat the Rangers. It'll be great to see Ken Giles beat the Rangers again, but it will be great for us to, I hope the guy doesn't punch himself in the face. I mean, but it is a point of hilarity that you look back on. He's kind of an Astros legend in that. And it's sad because, while he was here, his numbers were actually really good. I mean, he was a very solid option. And, his last impression on fans was basically not necessarily cussing out AJ Hinch, but saying some words. And then when he punched himself in the face, it was like, oh no, like this just went from bad to worse. And, he was a mixed bag of goods in Toronto. But he's in Seattle. I mean, that's not necessarily a hitter's ballpark. So it may fare well for him if he gives up some deep flies. I don't think they'll tend to fly there like they would maybe somewhere else like Minute Maid Park.
Yeah. And another player's on the move, and they're going to another team. Marwin Gonzalez is leaving the Twins, and he is going to play with the Boston Red Sox. And so this is definitely another interesting move, but we'll have to see. And so they're losing Benintendi, but they're gaining Marwin Gonzalez. So there's a lot of interesting moves. We don't really know what the players are out there doing. And I was kind of surprised that the Red Sox didn't try to trade Chris Sale. I mean, he's making a lot of money. They're not going to be competitive. I know they're supposed to be, quote unquote, trying to win, but tell me who's going to be losing. The Rays? No. The Yankees? No. The Orioles are starting to come back. The Jays are going to be pretty good. How do you think that you're going to compete in the AL East, Red Sox? What are you trying to do? And definitely would not bet on that. And would you bet on that?
No,
and I'm not sure if we're even supposed to be doing this ad.
Yes, no, you got it. You're right online. Bet online is the fastest and easiest way to do all your online sports action. Football may be over, but the NBA and college basketball and the NHL are in full swing. Bet online covers awards, TV shows, reality TV, real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine. Bet online has you covered for all the news, scores, and odds. It's the best way to place your bets, and it's free to sign up. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, your online sportsbook experts. Don't forget the promo code Locked On when you sign up.
Alrighty, and also if you get hungry when you do that, or if you would like to buy some auto parts, you can go ahead and go to rockauto.com. I know that they have some great parts, and you could go down the block, but you can also go to rockauto.com. Brett, tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. Well, one reason to repair and maintain your cars is to save money. that you can then use on other important things like buying some Belching Beaver beer. So why would you choose to spend 30, 50, sometimes 100% more on the exact same auto parts at a chain store or a new car dealership? You can even get carpet. If you have carpet in your vehicle, they have it. They have everything. Chain stores have a different price tier for professional mechanics and do-it-yourselfers, but not rockauto.com. It is a family-owned business serving auto parts customers online for 20 years. Go to rockauto.com, and when you check out in the "Where did you hear about us" box, write "Locked On" to let them know that we sent you. It's best of all, the price at rockauto.com are always reliably low with the same professionals and do-it-yourselfer price points. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need at rockauto.com.
All righty, to kind of go back to what I was talking about earlier, to facilitate contact tracing during spring training, every covered individual must wear a device at all time while in club facilities, during club-directed travel, and while engaged in team activities, including group workouts and practices. Repeated failures to wear these devices or repeated failures to return the devices to the Kinnixton device docking stations may be a basis for discipline. Any player data or information collection from a Kinnixton context tracing device, either directly or indirectly, shall be used to determine the close contact exposures under this provision, may not be shared with or used by this club, the commissioner's office, or any third party for any other purpose, and may not be used to discipline a player. So basically, they're saying that they're gonna, during the season, they're gonna try to avoid gathering people. They're trying to avoid big gatherings of 10 or more people. They're really gonna try to do the same thing that they're doing, but they're really gonna try to do a lot of, oh, my hands, sorry.
Yeah, like move your hand. Like, look at my camera. That's what I can see.
So, anyway, so what they're going to try to do is also they're going to try to do a lot more kind of monetary punishments for people. We kind of talked about that yesterday with the Zach. Well, not yesterday, but the day before, Zach Plesac. If you're caught going to the establishments that you're not supposed to be going to, then you could get in trouble. And so they're really.
So you're saying so you're saying they can't hang out with James Harden?
No.
Okay.
And so they said that they must wear face coverings at all times in the dugout or in bullpen, except for warming up. Players who violate the requirements, blah, 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 are subject to discipline by the MLB. The first violation is a written warning. Second violation is the second written warning that's sternly written. The third one is a fine shall be issued for any third or subsequent violation, an amount of $150 per violation. And I know I don't put my finger there. And then from there, that's just a flagrant violation. So it gets pretty serious there.
So Eric, I'm just going to make this note. I'm pretty sure you just read more about these details than these players will actually read themselves.
I know.
I'm just
it's just funny. I was just
sitting there thinking. No, it's okay. No, I was sitting there thinking about this. Because we're teachers, and students have a student handbook that they have to sign, like code of conduct type thing, And I think one time I said, it's in the student handbook. And they're like, what's a student handbook? I'm like, I don't know. You returned it to me signed this year. You don't remember reading it? No, we didn't read it. And so
we just have a sheet of paper that we say here,
right.
If you want to read the student handbook, you have to scan the QR code.
Well, so here's my question. How are they going to police this by hiring extra people to police this? Are they going to put more cameras in the dugout? Are they going to have more technology available for players? Because I thought technology around the clubhouse was bad.
Well, yeah, and that's what I know. You said the video of Greg Zahn talking
Yeah.
about the whole how he thought the Astros cheating scandal was not as bad as people thought it was, because people have been doing that for years. And but this is and this I'm not going to read anymore because I don't get yelled at anymore by you. But they're talking specifically about iPad uses and what you can do during the game, what you cannot do during the game, because there is applicable use of the iPads during game, and they will. And I remember hearing this on the radio the other day. You can watch live pitches. They're just going to have a way to obscure the pitching, the catching signals.
The catcher
So
signal.
I don't know how they're going to do that. I guess it's going to be like they blur it out, like when you have the person where you can't see their face and
it should be like
they're talking like this.
I won't do it. It should be like a middle finger or like a clown face right there. But like just make some emoji or they can incorporate,
or just put the Astros signal there.
Yeah,
just put the Astros logo.
Put the asterisks, you know, and yeah, that would be cool. Hey, I want to mention this because I want to send a shout out to a couple guys, to Q and Steve Simcoe. They had me on their show today. They wanted someone to come on from Locked on Astros, and they reached out to me, and it's the big Central Texas ESPN Fox Sports. I put the link on Twitter. It was really cool being on. They are the Astros affiliate for Central Texas, so it's pretty neat getting to broadcast and talk to everybody in Central Texas. For those of y'all in Central Texas and listening to us dealing with this cold weather, we just hope that you guys stay safe, because these next coming days are going to be intense and brutal. I know we're going to get a really hard freeze come
Snow
Monday,
day, Friday, Monday.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, my thing is, I just wanted to send a shout out to those guys. They were great. It was a show called Unnecessary Roughness, and I kind of felt like one of the big guys because 2 segments before I was on, they had John McClain, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool, you know. And so I just I appreciate them bringing me.
I think that Deshaun Watson needs to go ahead.
Jesus Easterby he's a great guy. I can't do a John McClain. That's terrible.
All righty. So I heard this on the radio the other day. What if the Dodgers came calling and said, we have David Price available. The Red Sox are already paying for half of his contract, and we will pay for the other half of the contract. I don't know if that's how people talk up in Boston, but would you take on David Price for the rest of the remaining contract? Yes or no?
Okay. That was an Alabama accent. Number 2, no.
We don't know where the guys are from.
Well, all I'm saying is this. Why would you do that? You already did that with Zach Greinke. Why are we going to take another big contract on a veteran who has injury issues anyways? Eric, I don't want David Price. I don't need another retread on my Astros team. I need to get these young pitchers seasoned, stretched out, and use the heck out of them until their arm falls off. That's what I need.
Okay. Here's David Price's contract. The Red Sox are paying this much. The Dodgers would be paying that much. So whoever.
How much is that much?
I don't know exactly. I'm not going to look it up. I was just bringing it up, but
so you mean
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't give the Dodgers my enemy's ailing dog. I wouldn't give the Dodgers anything. I wouldn't give them a bag of peanuts. Okay, and we took Jordan Alvarez from them, and they're still pissed about it. They just
speaking of that, our old friend Derek Fisher is now no longer with the Blue Jays.
He got DFA'd.
Yes, and that's sad because that was a good guy, and this was a guy that had all the potential in the world, and maybe he'll come up with some other team and kind of show something. But speaking of that, I hear that Nomar Mazara may be signing with the Tigers. So that's kind of going from one bad team to going to another. Wait, who did he play with last year? Oh, he played with the White Sox last year, so he played on
he's
good
going
time.
from a good team to a bad team.
Yes. Okay. I was still thinking he played for the Rangers. Sorry, I forgot that he played for the White Sox last year.
You can still think the White Sox are a bad team. I just think it's funny that Marwin Gonzalez is joining forces with Joey Cora. It's like the 17 Astros are now Boston Red Sox. It's just kind of funny. It's poetic, I think.
I wonder how people thought about our Steve Cishek by the Seashore reference.
I didn't hear any comments on it. That could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I actually said that today, Eric, when I was talking to my assistant principal. He asked me what he thought about him. I was like, "You mean Sea Shack by the seashore?" And he just kind of looked at me, and I said, "You'll have to listen to the podcast." And he goes, "Okay, I will."
Yeah, but I'm glad to see a lot of these people actually starting to make moves, and you see a lot of minor league deals being made, and I think with so close to spring training, it's good to see people like John Jay getting signed for deals. So now one thing that we forgot to talk about is these players have to quarantine for I think, is it like 5 days before they can even report to camp? So I believe
they have
that
to basically isolate themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So
which is smart. I get it.
Yeah. And I saw something about Biden trying to restrict travel to Florida. I don't know if that's because spring training, when we're not going to go to politics here, but I'm just saying, I'm wondering if that's going to affect the whole spring training thing. So there's just so much going on with the whole COVID thing. I'm not trying to go political here, but I'm just saying, if the season starts on time, I will be one happy camper because we all need baseball to get us going. So my question for you in the last 30 seconds or so, how many games are you going to this year?
Well, if I'm not a season ticket holder, I don't know. I'm going to go to as many as I can. I would love to. I would make every home game if I could, but obviously I can't. Something like baseball, basketball, we got things going on, but I would like to go to at least 20 or 30 games. I mean, honestly, I wear a mask. I'll do what I got to do. I'm not afraid of going in public and hanging out and watching the Astros. I'm all for it.
I was just curious. If you want to put a poll out there, I'm really curious to see how many people would really be going to games on a regular basis. Because yeah, you're right. Season ticket holders, they're paying for that, but the average fan, are they going to go to StubHub and actually put that money out there and doing that? So, there's all questions. So I know that you're on the podcast today with your boy Q, right?
Yes.
So I know that he does that, but he also has another podcast. It's the Locked On Today podcast, and this is a daily podcast where it talks about not just the Astros, because we were very good talking about the Locked On Today podcast, but what your boy Q does, he talks about wrong thing.
No, it is the great Peter. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to edit that. Yes.
Okay.
So
I was like,
we cover everything you need to know about the Astros, but the rest of the sports, now the Locked On Podcast Networks has you covered here as well with the Locked On Today podcast. It's hosted by the great Peter Bukowski, and it's all the sports news you need every morning in under 20 minutes. Subscribe to the Locked On Today podcast wherever you get the podcast. And we will see you next week. And hopefully we'll be getting closer to some spring training baseball, because play ball.